welcome to the Metaphysics Hour. I'm your host, Rory Colgan. It's been a while since I've done a cryptocurrency video, and I wanted to give you an update. This is not financial advice. Do your due diligence. Invest wisely. Always make sure that what you invest you can lose. And again, this is not advice financially. This is just an explanation of my journey and what I'm doing right now. My pedigree or my background is I was introduced to Bitcoin around $100. I tried to mine it when I was living on a goat farm and only had access to basically wireless satellite internet. So needless to say, I spent 18 hours trying to mine Bitcoin at $100 a coin and went through the entire gigabytes that the entire farm had within 12 hours and did not get anything. The first time I actually put skin in the game was about $3,000 to $5,000 in Bitcoin, and I think my first Litecoin purchase was at $32. I've made some profits. I just did my 2021 taxes, and according to Coinbase, I had a profit of basically $2,000. Which is not bad considering if you look at my savings account, it had a profit. The interest that I earned was $1.33. And so I took that profit, and then of course a lot of the other stuff that's in the cryptocurrency market that I've already invested in is still in there. I'm trying to go for long term. Full disclosure, the only short-term position I have right now is Bitcoin. I bought at the most recent dip at $33,000, and last I saw was a little bit over $41,000. So made a sizable return there, but that's not my selling point. That's not where I'm striving to go. And again, I'm aware that what I'm investing in, I could lose, and it's okay. Could I position myself in a way that would be higher risk and higher reward? Absolutely. But I take my own advice and I don't invest money I can't lose. That being said, besides the Bitcoin position and some Dash, and let's see, what else do I have that's long term? I think Bitcoin and Dash are the only two long term, or short terms. Oh, Bitcoin, excuse me. Bitcoin is the only short term. Long term, I have Dash and some other coins that really don't add up to much, and they have not taken off. Redcoin was one of the ones that I was really hopeful in the beginning, but I have set my sights on a different social coin, or a meme coin, if you will. I guess the biggest return I have had to date since investing in crypto is Dogecoin. I did not sell it at the all-time high, but I bought it at a penny and I sold it at 13 cents. So that's a 1,300% increase, or what we would call a 13x, I think, if I'd done my math right. Anyways, I took most of that and reinvested it. I took a little bit out to take my girlfriend on a date, a surprise date. But this is the value of cryptocurrency: high risk, high reward. High risk, bad rewards. The loss is a reward. It's just not a reward people want. So it's a downside of it. But I'd like to encourage you to consider a metaphysical principle, which is that you are abundant and you are prosperous, that there are universal forces at work that are abundance and prosperity. They're universal laws. You can check my earlier videos, and in those videos I'm talking about universal forces, abundance and prosperity. I've been working on a book called Divine Economics, and I've co-authored it with the late, great Leonard Orr. Passed away a few years ago, but before he did, he gave me the manuscript and said, hey man, let's put this in the public domain, get it out there as best you can. So I've started the editing process with that, and I got it to close to a final draft. And then I realized, he doesn't actually talk about cryptocurrency, because he wrote this before really Bitcoin was even on the scene. So I'm going to be adding some chapters on cryptocurrency. And again, this could be tulip mania, as Peter Schiff would say. I am positioned in gold and silver as well, not in the market, but in physical gold and silver, because that's, to me, a store of real wealth. And definitely fights against inflation, especially with all the real world applications gold and silver have, especially silver. Anyways, I look at cryptocurrency as a way to set the playing field straight. You know, the Federal Reserve has a monopoly. You can't be part of the federal board. You could, but you would have to really work hard, get into the banking sector, and then work your way up into that to really be profitable. Whereas with cryptocurrency, it's if you believe in a currency, if you believe in a coin, you can get into it. And that's why some people have, been able to quit their jobs and focus solely on this, because they got in, quote unquote, at the right time for Bitcoin. If I got in at Bitcoin when I first was introduced to it at $100 and was willing to put a lot more skin in the game, I would be pretty well off. I'd still be working, because there was no amount of money that I think I would have had at that time to really, become a millionaire. But I could have had $500,000 with, if I played my cards right. But I didn't, and that's probably the journey of most of us. So I look to what other coins have Bitcoin potential. And this is not really an analytical examination. It's more or less a intuition, a hunch, a guess. And again, do your own research. Don't do what I do just because I'm doing it. This is not financial advice. But the two coins that I have taken a lot of my profits in from Litecoin and Dogecoin are Shiba Inu and Baby Doge. These two coins, one, Shiba Inu, I think has a market cap of 420 quadrillion. So it's got a huge supply, and it's not very hard to become a Shiba Inu millionaire. I think $20 or $25 if you do it on Coinbase will give you a million coins, or maybe 2 million coins. And the argument there is that there is a potential for it to replace Doge. That's what Shiba Inu army, or the Shiba army, I think, are into and about. And if any of you are more versed in that, feel free to correct me down in the comments. But I've put in enough to feel like I put my skin in the game there. I've invested some of my savings in there, savings that I could lose, but savings that I don't want to see add $1 to my bank account. I want to see it add more than $1. And then, like I said, I took my Doge profits and my Litecoin profits and put it in there. The other one, the more it potentially revolutionary for you if you get in now, is Baby Doge. Baby Doge is selling at point and then 8 zeros 49, at least on the exchange that I've been using. I think in the overall consolidated market cap, it's trading at like 4.1 last time I checked. And of course, these numbers aren't going to be accurate by the time you watch this video, but they're more than likely going to be in the ballpark. Anyways, I think with a penny, you become a baby Dogecoin millionaire, right? With a penny, like a USD penny. However, on CoinX, which was where I get my baby Doge, it's not, there's like a minimum, and the minimum is, I think, a couple bucks USD. So you can't really go in at a penny, but if you have a couple bucks, you can get in and become a millionaire as far as it comes to Baby Doge. Now, their supply, I believe, is also, and maybe this is the 420 quadrillion, but quite a bit is the total supply. And so it's super high risk, but I've put my some of my savings and some of my, I guess, equity or profits from these other coins and put them into this one, because I do believe, something that right now a penny stock itself could buy 1 million of. You would think that's, and there's a psychological, benefit to that of like, oh wow, I could become a millionaire at this, and that's kind of a fun thing to say. It's probably going to be it's a lot easier for you to become a Baby Doge millionaire than a USD millionaire or USDT Tether millionaire, right? Like, those are more expensive. Point is, there is a psychological benefit, and this could be a place for extensive growth I think baby Doge is right now market cap wise about 130 in terms of total volume. And in terms of 24-hour volume, Ethereum and Shiba Inu actually swap a little bit. So it's getting up there in terms of its popularity, especially since it's on Coinbase, which is, gives access to and kind of ease. Like Coinbase is a pretty easy purchasing platform, and you can do that in the United States with some legal backing, so that it appeals more to the masses of people that aren't highly technical and willing to risk things on stuff that doesn't seem institutionalized. Whereas Coinbase kind of makes it seem like it's institutionalized. And I know that's kind of contrary to the opinion about decentralized currencies, but it's a broker that gives you access to these coins and to some of these coins. And like I said, Shiba Inu is there, and I think its current value is 4023. I think was the last time that I transitioned or converted some of my Litecoin profits into Shiba Inu, just because I believe that it's potentially going to be easier to profit from. I could be wrong, absolutely could be wrong. So again, keep that in mind. I feel like this video covers all of the things I really wanted to, but just do your own analysis. Like, look at the money that's in your savings account and look at it and say, do I want this 0.0001% interest so I can make a couple bucks a year? Or do I want to take a quarter of that, or whatever amount that I would be comfortable losing, and invest it in something that could be higher risk and higher return? And it's on a more level playing field, in the sense that this is peer-to-peer. This is not, yes, there are developers, yes, there are creators, and yes, if they held any of those coins, they will profit the most from it, but you could profit from it as well. And if you get to the point where you would see some value in it, then do what you need to do. I think the economy as it stands, yes, it is hard for everybody to be equal, but at least here you have equal opportunity, and maybe not the equal opportunity of people that were close to the ground, but not everybody was in somebody's garage when Apple was being founded. We have to recognize that the timing is important, and the timing's going to line up to how our ear is placed to the ground. Like, if we're interested in making money and being more profitable and abundant, then this is potentially in your environment specifically for that reason. Could also lose all your money here. So I'm not trying to tell you that to come into this with rose-colored glasses. I just know that I'm really happy that I've invested some of my savings and a lot of my profits into high-risk assets that some people are not going to be comfortable with, but I am, because I've been I'm not going to say I've been right, but I do have a proven track record of making money in cryptocurrency. Now, is it substantial enough to really warrant that statement? No, I don't think that a lot of people would give a couple $1,000s profit in 1 year a super high rating as like, oh yeah, trust this guy, because or be like him, do what he does, or think about it. But I am asking you to consider it, because it's made a positive difference in my life and added two things. I mean, right now, currently, I'm on my way to Dallas, Texas to surprise my girlfriend. And guess what? My cryptocurrency profits are filling up the gas tank to get me there and back. And that was part of the reason why I could make this surprise visit, is that all of a sudden I had extra cash that wasn't in the budget, and I could have, put it in my savings account and earn a little bit of a yield, or I could go make memories that are priceless. And I think that's what I'm really into. And then again, because I'm not just blowing it all, I've invested and reinvested a lot of the other profits. So I think that's a healthy model for me. You do you, consider it. But Shiba Inu and baby Doge, you are in the position right now for 20 to 100 bucks to become a millionaire in Shiba Inu. And 20 to 100 bucks in baby Doge, I believe, makes you a billionaire. So those coins, if they do well and even become 1,000th of a penny, that's 3 zeros and a 1, you could change your life for the better. If it goes to 0, you lost whatever you invested. But if it's only 20 to 100 bucks, you probably can survive that. So again, not financial advice, but something to consider. Love you guys. Namaste. God bless.